students. In the previous lesson, you have already learned about the development of monocot embryo. Today you are going to learn about the formation of seeds and fruits. Now, in the previous lessons, you have observed the flower and its different parts. You were also introduced to the events leading up to the fertilization of the egg by the sperm. And the resulting cell that was formed was called the zygote. You all know that. And this develops into the embryonic plant. Now you must be aware of that the plant also produces a second sperm cell that fuses with the polar nuclei to form a triploid endosperm, the process known as double fertilization. Now, the endosperm starts developing immediately after the double fertilization, and this endosperm divides actively during the early development of the seed. This endosperm accumulates storage material that is used for the development of the embryonic plant. Now, as you've learned in my previous videos, that the diploid zygote undergoes a regular sequence of divisions to form an embryo. This embryo has radicle at one end and plumule with one or two cotyledons at the other end. Now, the embryo and the endosperm, they reside in the ovule, and together this constitute a seed. Okay. Now, this seed is contained within the gynoecium, especially the ovary of the carpel, that will develop into fruit surrounding the seeds. Now, today you will study about the seed and the fruit of the flowering plants. Let's get some basic informations about seeds. Now, ovule changes into seeds. Seed basically has seed coat, which is formed from the integuments of the ovule. It also has got embryo, and this will give rise to a plant. Also, it has the cotyledon, which is some kind of reserve food materials. Okay. Now, seeds can be classified based on cotyledons. It is classified basically into dicots and monocots. Okay. Dicots means it has got two cotyledons, as you can see in the picture. And monocot means it has got only one cotyledon. Okay. Now, this dicot can further be classified into dicotyledonous albuminous seeds and dicotyledonous ex-albuminous seeds. Now, if after formation of embryo, endosperm still remains, then those dicots are called albuminous seeds or endospermic seeds. Okay, and formation of this endosperm is as a result of triple fusion or the process of double fertilization, and this is very much unique to angiosperm. Got my point? If after formation of embryo, endosperm still remains, then those dicots are called dicotyledonous albuminous seeds or dicotyledonous endospermic seeds. Okay, formation of this endosperm, which I just discussed, it is as a result of triple fusion or the process of double fertilization, and this is very much unique to angiosperms. This endosperm that is formed is the initial nourishment for the embryo, and after that nourishment it is either stored as cotyledon or little endosperm will still remain, so that when the embryo gives rise to a baby plant, when the roots are formed, this little bit of nourishment can initially be supplied to it. Now, if complete endosperm is used up, then it is known as dicotyledonous exalbuminous seeds. And the example of dicotyledonous endospermic seed is castor. And the example of dicotyledonous non-endospermic or exalbuminous seeds is pea, gram, beans, like this kind of pulses, where there is no endosperm. The reserved food material is present in thick cotyledons. Same classification is applicable for monocots also. It can also be classified as monocotyledonous albuminous seeds and monocotyledonous exalbuminous seeds. As we have already discussed in the development of monocots, that they have only one cotyledon, and that too is very thin and papery by nature. Now, their viability or the time taken to germinate is very short. So, here the example of exalbuminous seed is orchid. This one. And in monocotyledonous albuminous seed, where the cotyledon is not having the reserve food material, but endosperm is present. Okay, the example is maize, rice, it can be any kind of cereals. So this is the brief classification of seeds. Let's see brief description of fruits. Now, fertilized ovary changes into fruit. Now, these fruits can also be classified into three main categories. The first one is the simple fruits. Now, in the simple fruits, if the fruit develops from the single ovary of the single flower, then it is known as simple fruits. And this is seen in beans, peas, apples. Now, if the fruits develop from multiple pistils of single flower, then it is known as aggregate fruits, and it is seen in strawberries, custard apple, and so on. Again, if fruits develop from complete inflorescence, then we can classify it as composite or multiple fruits, and it is seen in pineapple, also seen in jackfruit, mulberry. Now, more classification can be done like dehiscence, indehiscence, fleshy fruits, false fruits, true fruits, and many other categories. We will study those in details in the morphology. Now, one more term which you need to know is parthenocarpic fruit. Now, in parthenocarpic fruit, here the plants have fruits, and these fruits are formed without fertilization. If fertilization is not there, embryo formation is not there, so seed formation will not take place. So basically these fruits are seedless. Now there are naturally occurring parthenocarpic fruits. The most common is banana. Now the question is, if the seeds are not formed, how these bananas are reproducing? Now these plants actually depend on vegetative propagation, that is with the help of underground stem. And nowadays scientists are doing research on developing parthenocarpic fruits. As we all know that original grapes, if we study, they have seeds. But now we have developed grapes without any seed, that is they are basically seedless. Scientists are also trying to develop other fruits by the same process, and the research is going on. The important terminologies which you need to know is, first is apomixis. What is apomixis? It is an asexual seed formation, and it is basically the result of a plant having the ability to bypass the most fundamental aspects of sexual reproduction, that is meiosis and fertilization. These are the fundamental aspects of sexual reproduction which it bypasses. In other words, they do not undergo meiosis. So without the need for male fertilization, the resulting seed germinates into a new plant. And the most common example is blackberry. It is also meadow grasses. Another important terminology which you should know is amphimixis. uh, Students get confused with apomixis. So amphimixis is the normal process of sexual reproduction where meiosis occur and subsequent fusion takes place during the fertilization process. So this was all about the seeds and fruits. Hope you have understood. Thank you.